Today, the Constitutional Court hands down judgment in an application brought in terms of Section 167, subsection 4E of the Constitution by the Economic Freedom Fighters, the EFF, and the African Transformation Movement, the ATM, to whom I shall collectively refer as the applicants. I start by taking full responsibility for the delay in producing this judgment concerning an extremely difficult matter of great national importance. And I tender my sincere apology to the parties, my colleagues, and fellow South Africans for the inconvenience it has caused. The applicants seek an order declaring as unlawful and irrational a decision of.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the controversial podcast. Let's talk about the Phala Phala saga. The Constitutional Court has finally made its judgment. It has ruled in favor of the EFF and the African Transformation Movement. Let us congratulate those parties for taking Ramaphosa to Constitutional Court. But I don't think we should be celebrating this early. The judgment stated that the National Assembly acted unlawfully when it voted in December 22 to reject the Section 89 independent panel report into President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala Phala scandal. Remember, the former Chief Justice Sandile Ngcobo said President Cyril Ramaphosa has a case to answer. There's a prima facie evidence, but the parliament said no. We will not allow this impeachment inquiry. The ANC was like, no, we're not going to allow this. We don't want to impeach our president. Even the GNU partners voted against this report. You know why I'm saying this? Ramaphosa might come back again, and there is a possibility that he won't be impeached. I'm just playing the devil's advocate, okay? It's not that I'm not happy with the judgment. I'm quite very happy. Ramaphosa was supposed to resign way back when Arthur Fraser reported that scandal at the police station and opened a case against President Cyril Ramaphosa because of Phala Phala scandal. You know why I'm saying that President Cyril Ramaphosa might not be impeached? Because DA supported him and they've got numbers. The Economic Freedom Fighters doesn't have numbers. Even the ATM shame doesn't have numbers, including the Umkhonto Wesizwe Party. The Economic Freedom Fighters has only 39 seats, the DA has 87 seats, and the African National Congress has 159. The Umkhonto Wesizwe Party has only 58 seats, which means when you combine 39 and 58, that makes only 97 votes. But when you combine the seats of the Democratic Alliance and the African National Congress, that should give you about 246 votes. Whatever Cyril Ramaphosa decides, he's going to win. Remember, when the Phala Phala saga broke, there were rumors that he wanted to resign, but the ANC said no. So it's going to be very easy to convince the DA to vote with the African National Congress again. Let us not talk about the PA doesn't have numbers. We both know they will still support President Cyril Ramaphosa. Action SA, they don't have numbers. Bantu Holomisa, the UDM, they don't have numbers again. ATM, I think they've got like 2 seats. You can see that President Cyril Ramaphosa can still win this battle. The EFF and other people shouldn't celebrate too soon because we know DA loves power. They love power. It's going to be very interesting. Either way, President Cyril Ramaphosa can still win this battle and convince the DA. The ANC can say, we'll give you more positions, but do not impeach our president. And Helen Zille will come here and say, no, we don't want instability in this country. We think President Cyril Ramaphosa has been holding this GNU very well. We don't see any other person in the African National Congress who can become the president of this country. I don't see Paul Mashatile becoming a president, even though he's the vice president of this country. President Cyril Ramaphosa has never allowed that guy to act, especially when he's not around. He gives the opportunity to the likes of Gwede Mantashe and Motshekga, so I don't see Paul Mashatile becoming a president. DA is just the same as ANC. Let's just agree, because remember the tax issue when the ANC wanted to increase the tax, they were like, okay, it's fine, we agree with you, but on certain conditions. The ANC was like, no, you are not the only GNU partners. We can consult others. So President Cyril Ramaphosa may still manipulate this and become the president again and finish his term, unfortunately, because if you check the African National Congress, everybody believes in President Cyril Ramaphosa. There's no internal fights anymore. Everybody supports President Cyril Ramaphosa. President Cyril Ramaphosa destroyed the factions in that party, the RET who believed in Zuma. I don't think we should celebrate soon, but we should be very thankful to Arthur Fraser. He was very brave for reporting our president. I remember when he reported this incident of the Palapala scandal, all of a sudden it was reported that somebody hired a hitman and they wanted Arthur Fraser gone and his advocate, Moses Kakane. I don't know whether you still remember that story. I think they wanted to unalive them because of Palapala saga, and at one point he was reported in hiding with the advocate. But fortunately, the hitman that they wanted to use was like, no, I know Moses Kakane because I'm from KZN. Apparently, they went to Jacob Zuma, and those are just rumors, guys. I don't know whether the Ngabi told Jacob Zuma or whatsoever, but Jacob Zuma was able to intervene, and that didn't happen. Obviously, the Ngabi got the message from Jacob Zuma. So I don't know if you still remember that story. It was maybe 3 years back after Arthur Fraser exposed President Cyril Ramaphosa. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this judgment? Are you happy? Yes, I'm excited, but we can't be too excited. Maybe President Cyril Ramaphosa must just resign. Honestly, he must just resign and save this country. I don't know who's going to be the next president, but President Cyril Ramaphosa has failed this country. No doubt about that. I saw somebody on the comment section said, I'm the MK party member. No, I'm not affiliated with any party. By the way, I don't even like the own controversies of parties. So I don't know, why would you say when you are angry when I'm commenting about the EFF supporters should just shush. They just want to have opinions alone, and that's it. And we're not allowed to criticize their leader, even though their leader is just fucking this country up. So can you please stop that nonsense? If you believe in EFF, believe in EFF. Don't come here and comment nonsense. And I do have opinions about the EFF, and I don't like the EFF. I've never liked the EFF. Honestly, I was really, really surprised why people decided to vote for EFF, decided to join the Economic Freedom Fighters, because Julius Malema is not an innocent soul. He was expelled in the African National Congress because of corruption. There were allegations that him and Castle Matele in that province, they collapsed that province. There was Ratanang, trust, shenanigans, tenders and all of that. Even the taxman was after the CIC. I've never voted for EFF. I never believed in the EFF. Secondly, I don't like their policies. They always talk about nationalization, but I don't think the president of the EFF understands the meaning of that, because there was this journalist that asked him about the nationalization of banks, of land. He was like, no, we don't want private sectors, obviously, to close their banks. We'll have our own banks. But what do you mean when you say nationalize everything? Because it means government must take over. Private sectors must just close. Government will do everything. You will not own the land. There are people who are always crying, saying, no, we want the land, but Julius Malema is fighting for the land to be nationalized. So that means the land will be owned by government. Let me make a simple example. Should the government say, oh, we've discovered gold here, since it's our land, we can move the people. And he's also fighting this thing of land without compensation. So if they say this land here has gold, we don't have to compensate you guys. Move, just move. You'll figure it out, but just move out. Look what is happening in the Northwest Province. Zamazamas are taking over. You've seen pictures where Zamazamas are busy digging there. You can't even live in that place because there's like so many holes. They're just busy mining. So can you imagine if we trust this political party saying no, we should nationalize everything, but the political party leader is even confused when asked, can you explain it in layman's terms? Like, can you simplify this? What do you mean? But like, he's also confused. Think about it. Especially this nonsense of land. I don't believe in land without compensation. ANC lied to people. They were like, we're going to do land with compensation, and farmers obviously paid. They chowed that money. And I even remember back in the days, ANC made a plan that there are farmers that are obviously there and they were going to expropriate the land without compensation. And they mentioned quite a few farmers. The EFF were like, no, they voted with the DA. We don't want that because that land is not workable. Talking nonsense. I'm sure there were people who were going to appreciate the land and build their houses or whatsoever. Let us just be honest, guys. Let's be honest, because even those farmers that were compensated, where farmers said, okay, you can take them, let's give it to black people, 99% of them are no longer there. They're no longer productive. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If there's farmers where you come from, 99% of those farmers are dead. What's interesting is that they're living in suburbs. I'm talking about these politicians. EFF just want to exploit everything. They want everything to belong to government. Be very careful. The CIC sometimes is just confused to explain their policies. Even that deputy leader of the Umkhonto we party did an interview some time ago, and they asked him about land without compensation. He said, no, the land should belong to government. That interview, I was like, but you've got a farm in Paarl. What you are saying, which means that people should rent the land. He was like, yes, I wouldn't mind giving this land back to the government. There he was just lying. If you all believe in that nonsense of land without compensation, the EFF members, whether it's top officials of the EFF, should be renting. They shouldn't own anything. Secondly, they shouldn't take their kids to private schools. They shouldn't do that. You hate white people. Secondly, the EFF promised to build a private school for black people. Where is that school? Tell me on the comment section. What do you think about this? It's very interesting. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye. See you on the next episode.